The night was calm, but the silence inside the space station felt heavy. The hum of distant engines and the faint flicker of lights across the metal walls reminded everyone how far they were from home. The crew had gone to rest and only one human was still awake, Ethan Cole, a quiet engineer who preferred working while others slept. He liked the calm hours when machines whispered instead of people talking. He sat at his desk, surrounded by scattered tools and glowing screens. A holographic map of the ship hovered in front of him, showing blue dots for functioning systems and a single red mark for a damaged area. It wasn't serious, but he wanted to fix it before the morning shift. For him, work was a way to forget how small he was in the middle of the galaxy. Then, without warning, the door slid open behind him with a soft hiss. Ethan turned around, expecting maybe one of his teammates. Probably Jalen, who often forgot things in the workshop. But it wasn't Jalen. It wasn't anyone he knew. A tall figure stepped inside, silent and graceful, her skin faintly glowing with a pale, silvery light. She wasn't human. Her eyes were large, reflecting the light like liquid crystal. Her face had familiar human lines, but her presence was something else, something that made the air seem different. Ethan stood frozen. The alien woman looked both calm and tense, as if carrying a secret too heavy for her kind to hold. "Who are you?" he asked carefully, his voice steady but curious. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she looked around the small room, the scattered papers, the dim light, the human touch of it all. Then she looked at him again and said softly, "Don't look away." Ethan didn't understand. "What do you mean?" The alien woman took a slow step forward, her silver hair falling over her shoulder. "I need you to see me," she whispered, her tone trembling between courage and fear. "Not as a visitor, not as an intruder, but as what I really am," he hesitated. Her words carried emotion, something he didn't expect from a member of the Zenari species who were known for logic and discipline. They weren't supposed to show emotion. They were the galaxy's diplomats, not its dreamers. She touched a small circular device on her wrist. The glow around her body shimmered, and in a few seconds the silver patterns across her skin faded, replaced by faint scars and markings that looked almost human. Her disguise, the perfect polished form of her kind, and dissolved before his eyes. "This is me," she said quietly. The real me. Ethan didn't know what to say. He had seen many aliens, but none who would show their true form willingly. "Why would you hide this?" he finally asked. "Because my people believe imperfection is weakness," she said, her voice soft and shaking. "But humans, you are different. You find strength in your flaws." Ethan watched her closely. The honesty in her tone didn't sound rehearsed or planned. It sounded like confession, one she had been waiting years to share. "You came here just to tell me this?" "No," she said, looking away for the first time. "I came because something is coming. Something your crew isn't prepared for, and I need you to trust me before I tell you the truth." He frowned. "Something's coming? What kind of danger?" She took a deep breath and met his gaze again. "A weapon. A living one. My people built it, and it's already awake." Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. "You mean it's headed here?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, and the worst part is, it's not supposed to stop." The air grew heavy between them. Outside the window, the endless stars seemed to shimmer faintly, like distant eyes watching their small ship drift in silence. Ethan tried to understand what this all meant. Why she had come. Why she was risking her life by warning humans, and why she had chosen him of all people. "What do you need me to do?" he asked finally. Her lips curved slightly, not quite a smile, but a glimpse of relief. "Listen," she said, "and believe what I say even when others don't." He nodded. He didn't know her name yet, but he could feel the weight of trust forming between them, fragile but real. Then the intercom crackled suddenly, breaking the stillness. "Engineer Cole, report to the command deck immediately," said the captain's voice, sharp and urgent. "We're detecting an unidentified signal approaching at high velocity." Ethan looked at the alien woman. She didn't move, didn't blink. Her glowing eyes darkened with worry. "It's already here," she whispered. For a long second, neither of them spoke. The ship's lights dimmed for a heartbeat as the signal drew closer. The sound of distant metal vibration filled the air, low and growing. Ethan turned back to her. "If you know how to stop it," he said, "then don't disappear now." She nodded and took a step forward. Then don't look away, she said again, voice calm but filled with quiet fire. Because what comes next will change everything you believe about your species. The room trembled as the first impact echoed through the station, a deep, distant boom that made every bolt and beam groan in protest. Alarms began to scream. Ethan glanced at the door, then back at her, but she was already moving, quick and focused. He followed her into the corridor as red warning lights began to flash across the walls. The once silent station was now alive with panic, voices shouting, footsteps running, and the mechanical wail of systems going into lockdown. Ethan had no idea where this alien woman had come from or why she had chosen him, but he knew one thing. She was the only one who seemed to know what was happening, and for some reason, he trusted her. The station rattled under the impact, the floor trembling beneath Ethan's boots as he ran through the narrow corridor. Red warning lights cast long, jagged shadows along the walls, and the echo of alarms made the metal corridors feel alive. The alien woman moved ahead with an almost ethereal grace, her silver glow faint but visible even in the flashing red light. Ethan struggled to keep up, his heart pounding in rhythm with the station's warning sirens. "They're coming," she said without looking back, her voice steady despite the chaos. "Not just one, but many, and they don't understand mercy." Ethan swallowed hard. "Who? What are they?" "The ones who were built to hunt," she said. "Machines that think and feel only destruction. My people created them long ago, but they went beyond control." Her eyes flickered with a mixture of fear and determination. "I've been tracking them for years, hoping they would never reach humanity. But now, they are here." Ethan glanced at the main viewports. In the distance, shadows streaked across the void, sleek shapes that moved faster than anything he had ever seen. They were silent, precise, and undeniably alive. Even from this distance, he could sense their intelligence, the cold, calculating awareness behind every motion. "How do we stop them?" he asked, gripping the railing as the corridor shook again. The alien woman stopped suddenly and faced him. "You don't, not fully. But you can survive. You can protect those who can't protect themselves. That's what humans do best." Her words sank in, heavy with meaning. Humans had always been underestimated, considered fragile in the vast galaxy. Yet she had come to him, a single human engineer, because she knew that his species' strength wasn't in weapons or speed, but in courage, in the refusal to give up even when hope seemed impossible. They reached a junction where the corridor split into 3 paths. The woman paused, placing her hand on the wall, her fingertips glowing faintly as she tapped a sequence of hidden controls. A hidden panel slid open, revealing a narrow maintenance tunnel. "Through here," she said. "It's the only way to reach the command deck without being detected." Ethan followed, ducking into the cramped tunnel. The air smelled faintly metallic, tinged with ozone from the emergency systems. He had been on many space stations, but this one was older, filled with hidden passages and secret rooms. He realized that this alien woman knew the station better than its crew did, or maybe she had anticipated this exact moment. The tunnel twisted and turned, forcing them to crouch in some areas and climb through small hatches in others. Ethan's muscles ached, but he ignored the pain, driven by curiosity and fear. He wanted answers, and he wanted to survive. Finally, they emerged near the command deck. The doors were reinforced, and the main console flickered with warnings. Ethan saw the captain on a monitor, barking orders into a communicator. Red lights flashed across the room as crew members struggled to stabilize the ship. "This is it," the alien woman said. "If we can hold this position for just a few minutes, I can activate a countermeasure. One that may buy us time." Ethan looked at her, seeing the gravity of her plan. "What kind of countermeasure?" She hesitated, then placed her hands on the console. Blue energy ran along her fingers, interfacing with the station's systems in a way he could not understand. "It will create a temporary shield around the station, enough to slow them, to confuse them. But it's not permanent. They are adaptive, smarter than we imagined." Ethan nodded. "Then let's make every second count." She gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. Then the two of them worked side by side, Ethan manipulating the console according to her instructions, following her lead with careful precision. He felt a surge of determination. He wasn't a warrior, but he had tools, skills, and the will to act. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough. Minutes passed, each one stretching like hours. Outside the windows, the shadows approached closer, and the sound of the station's alarms filled every corner. Then the alien woman activated the countermeasure. A wave of light and energy pulsed through the station, creating shimmering barriers around the hull. Ethan felt the vibration under his feet and saw the shadows outside falter, hesitant against the new defenses. "It's working," he whispered, astonished. "Yes," she said, her voice calm but tight with effort. "But it won't hold forever. We need more than shields. We need strategy." She turned to him, her glowing eyes fixed on his. "You have something humans often forget, imagination. You think in ways machines cannot predict. I need you to guide me." Ethan hesitated. He had never led anyone in battle. He was an engineer, not a soldier. But when he looked into her eyes, he felt a strange sense of trust, a recognition that his species had something machines could never have. The spark of ingenuity, of hope, of defiance. "I'll do it," he said finally. "Tell me what to do." She smiled faintly, a mix of relief and gratitude. "We need to reroute power from the ship's auxiliary systems. It's risky. If we fail, the entire station could collapse, but it will give us a chance to outmaneuver them." Working together, they moved through the command deck, Ethan handling the technical adjustments while she interfaced with alien systems that glowed with unfamiliar symbols. The station shuddered under the strain, but they pressed on, synchronized in purpose. Outside, the shadows advanced again. But this time, the energy pulses they had created disrupted the machine's coordination. One faltered, then another, and Ethan realized that even the most advanced technology could be tricked by clever human thinking. "We're buying time," he said, panting from exertion. "But how long?" The alien woman's gaze was distant, focused on the growing number of approaching enemies. "Long enough to evacuate non-essential personnel. Long enough to reach the outer hangar. Long enough to fight back, if you can handle it." Ethan felt the weight of her words. He was just one human, facing an enemy centuries ahead in design and purpose. And yet she had chosen him, trusted him, believed in his potential. That belief was a strange, powerful weapon, stronger than any shield. Suddenly, a loud crash shook the station. One of the shadows had broken through the outer defenses, its form massive and terrifying. The floor beneath Ethan quaked as he struggled to maintain balance. "We have to move," the alien woman said urgently. "Now!" Together, they raced toward the outer hangar, navigating corridors and stairways as alarms screamed. Crew members ran past them, some frozen in fear, others determined to survive. Ethan noticed the subtle difference in how the crew looked at him. Awe, perhaps, or disbelief at the strange alien assisting him, and at the courage of a human refusing to flee. As they reached the hangar doors, Ethan saw ships lined up, ready for evacuation, but there was no time to board them. The shadows were too close, their movements swift and deadly. The alien woman stopped, placing a hand on the large control panel. Her energy glowed brighter than ever. "This is it," she said. "I can open a portal, temporary, unstable, but it will get us out. You must guide us through it." Ethan's mind raced. A portal? He had only seen theoretical models in simulations. Could it actually work? And if it did, where would they go? Where does it lead?" he asked. "Somewhere safe," she replied, her eyes meeting his with unwavering trust. "Somewhere humans can survive and where we can regroup. But we must hurry. They will adapt quickly." He nodded, his hands steady despite the fear gnawing at him. For the first time, he felt a deep connection, not just to the alien woman, but to the potential of humanity itself. In this moment, surrounded by chaos, he understood something vital. Survival wasn't just about strength or technology. It was about courage, trust, and the refusal to look away from what was difficult, terrifying, or unknown. She activated the portal, a swirling vortex of energy that rippled across the hangar. The air vibrated with power, and Ethan felt the pull of the unknown. The shadows were nearly upon them, their shapes blurring as the portal's energy distorted reality. "Go," she shouted. "Through the portal. Trust yourself." Ethan hesitated for only a heartbeat, then grabbed her hand. Together they leapt into the unknown, leaving the station, the shadows, and the chaos behind. As they emerged on the other side, the world shifted. Stars were replaced by a strange landscape bathed in soft light, the ground beneath their feet alien but solid. Ethan looked around, awe replacing fear. The alien woman released his hand, stepping forward, her gaze sweeping the new horizon. "We made it," she said softly. "But this is only the beginning. What awaits us here will test everything you believe about humanity, courage, and the galaxy itself." Ethan nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and dread. He was far from home, in a world he didn't understand, with a companion who carried secrets he had yet to unravel. But one thing was certain: he wouldn't look away. He couldn't, and somehow he knew humanity's spark would be the key to surviving what came next. The world they had emerged into was unlike anything Ethan had ever imagined. The sky shimmered with hues of violet and gold, as if the atmosphere itself was alive and glowing. Strange, translucent plants swayed gently despite the absence of wind, and the ground beneath their feet was firm but dotted with glowing crystals that pulsed softly like living things. Ethan took a cautious step forward, his eyes wide with wonder. "Where are we?" he asked, turning to the alien woman. "This is a safe zone," she said, her voice calm but alert. "It's a place my people discovered long ago, hidden from machines, hidden from others. Here we can recover, learn, and prepare, but we must move quickly. Our enemies will adapt and follow if given the chance." Ethan nodded, still taking in the alien landscape. The air was thick but breathable, carrying faint scents that reminded him vaguely of rain and metal. His heart raced with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. For the first time, he realized just how vast the universe was and how small yet powerful humans could be when they refused to give up. The alien woman led him along a narrow path lined with the glowing crystals. As they walked, she explained what he needed to know. "These machines," she began, "were built to destroy life, but they also learn. Every encounter teaches them something new. Your species' ingenuity may be our only hope. They don't anticipate strategy, emotion, or courage." Ethan listened intently. He had been an engineer, trained to fix machines, not to face them in combat. Yet as he looked around at this strange, luminous world, he felt a surge of determination. "Then we'll make them anticipate," he said. "We'll use what they can't understand." She nodded approvingly. "Exactly. That is why I chose you. Your mind thinks differently from any of my people. You are human." The alien woman paused near a cluster of crystalline structures. She knelt and touched the largest crystal, causing it to shimmer brighter. Ethan watched as the light from the crystal reflected patterns on her skin, tracing her alien markings. "These crystals store energy," she explained. "We can use them to power defensive devices or to create illusions to confuse our enemies." Ethan studied the crystals carefully. "Then we need to set up traps," he said slowly, thinking aloud. "If they're coming here, we can't wait for them to arrive. We have to prepare before they even know where we are." She smiled, faintly impressed. "Your instincts are correct. Humans have a natural sense of strategy. We will combine your ideas with my knowledge of alien technology. Together we might stand a chance." They spent hours moving through the alien forest, testing crystals and devising traps. Ethan learned to manipulate the energy fields using panels embedded within the largest crystals. The alien woman guided him patiently, showing him the precise ways to enhance the energy pulses so they could mimic motion or sound. "You see," she said, "machines think in patterns. If we break the pattern, they hesitate. Even for a moment, hesitation can be enough." As night fell over the glowing landscape, Ethan realized just how alien this world truly was. Creatures moved in the shadows, some small and delicate, flitting like glowing insects, others larger and silent, their shapes unfamiliar but not immediately hostile. The alien woman explained that the life forms here had evolved with the crystals and the energy fields, developing senses humans could barely imagine. Ethan felt a strange sense of calm despite the danger. He had faced challenges before, but nothing like this. Here on a planet alive with energy and mystery, he began to understand what the alien woman had meant when she spoke of human strength. It was not just courage. It was adaptability, imagination, and the ability to act under uncertainty. After setting up several traps and defensive fields, they found a small cave-like structure that would serve as their temporary base. The alien woman motioned for him to rest. "We'll need every ounce of strength for what comes next," she said. Ethan sank onto the crystalline floor, exhausted but alert. He glanced at her. "How long do we have before they find us?" "Hours, maybe a day," she said. "They are fast learners. They will follow. But they will not expect this world, nor the humans who defend it." For the first time, Ethan felt a strange bond forming between them. It was not just trust, but mutual respect. She had risked everything to guide him, and he had stepped into a role he had never imagined, the protector of a world he barely understood. Suddenly, A soft hum resonated through the cave. Ethan looked around, tense. The crystals responded, flickering in waves. The alien woman's eyes widened. "They're probing," she said. "Not physically, but mentally. Machines can sense patterns, energy. They are testing the perimeter." Ethan's mind raced. "Then we have to give them something to analyze that won't lead them to us." She nodded. "We can create decoys. Use the energy fields to mimic movement, sounds, even life forms. If we succeed, they may waste time chasing illusions instead of finding the real base." The two of them worked through the night, arranging crystals and configuring energy pulses to mimic movement and communication. Ethan marveled at the alien technology, realizing that with imagination even the most advanced machines could be tricked. The combination of human creativity and alien precision gave them an advantage no single species could achieve alone. As dawn approached, Ethan looked over their preparations. The forest around them now seemed alive with energy, not just from the crystals but from the traps they had set. He could sense the potential to control the battlefield, to shape the movements of creatures that were designed to destroy. The alien woman approached him quietly. "You've done well," she said, her voice soft but firm. "Humans underestimate themselves. But here your species shines." Ethan felt a swell of pride. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a hero in any official sense. But in this moment he realized that heroism wasn't about titles. It was about action, courage, and the willingness to face fear head-on. They settled into the cave to rest, knowing the machines would arrive soon. Ethan lay back on the crystalline floor, staring at the ceiling that glowed with faint patterns. He thought about the journey that had brought him here, from a quiet engineer on a distant space station to someone who was now central to the survival of an alien world. The alien woman sat across from him, her glowing eyes scanning the horizon outside the cave entrance. She didn't speak, but Ethan sensed her thoughts, planning, calculating, always ready. He realized that despite her alien nature, her essence was not so different from humans. She cared, she hoped, and she trusted him in ways that he had never experienced before. Hours passed, the light outside shifting with the alien sun. Ethan drifted into a light sleep, his mind restless with possibilities. Dreams of machines, stars, and glowing crystals danced behind his eyelids. Even in sleep, his mind worked, thinking of strategies, of ways to survive, of ways to protect the alien woman who had trusted him so completely. When he awoke, the alien woman was already standing, eyes focused on the horizon. Ethan followed her gaze. There in the distance, dark shapes moved among the glowing plants. They were slow at first, almost tentative, but their size and intelligence were unmistakable. The machines had found them. Ethan's heart pounded, but he felt no panic. He had prepared, and he had a companion who trusted him. Together they could face what came next. "Are you ready?" she asked quietly. Ethan nodded. "Ready." She gave him a small approving nod. "Then let's show them why humans cannot be ignored." The two of them moved from the cave into the alien forest, blending with the glowing crystals. Ethan marveled at how alive the world seemed. Every plant, every crystal, every shadow could be used to their advantage. He realized that survival here was not just about weapons, but about understanding, creativity, and courage. As the machines drew closer, Ethan and the alien woman prepared their first trap. Energy pulsed along the crystals, creating illusions of movement and sound. Shapes flickered through the forest, mimicking fleeing humans and alien creatures. The machines hesitated, scanning, analyzing, trying to determine which targets were real. Ethan felt a thrill of hope. The plan was working. Even the most advanced machines could be tricked by the combination of human ingenuity and alien technology. He realized then that the future of this world, perhaps even the galaxy, rested on moments like this: courage, creativity, and the refusal to surrender. And for the first time, Ethan understood the truth the alien woman had whispered to him in the station. Humans were capable of extraordinary things. Even when the odds seemed impossible, the forest shimmered with energy, and the machines advanced, unaware of the clever trap awaiting them. Ethan stood tall, heart racing, ready to face the challenge. Whatever came next, he knew that he would not look away. He could not. Humanity demanded more than fear. It demanded courage, creativity, and hope. The first wave of machines entered the trap, and the glowing crystals responded with dazzling light and pulses of energy. Shapes flickered and vanished, movements were distorted, and the machines hesitated, unsure of what was real. Ethan smiled faintly. "It's working," he whispered. The alien woman's eyes glowed brighter. "Yes," she said, "but this is only the beginning. The real test is still to come." The forest held its breath. The machines paused, analyzing, learning, adapting. Ethan and the alien woman readied themselves for the next wave, knowing that survival would require every ounce of intelligence, courage, and ingenuity they had. The alien forest pulsed with energy as the machines advanced, their dark forms moving silently but with deadly precision. Ethan's pulse raced, but he felt no panic. He had learned to trust his instincts and the alien woman guiding him. Every step he took, every movement he made was calculated to keep them ahead of the machine's learning algorithms. The first wave of machines had fallen into their trap, distorted by the illusions of glowing crystals and energy pulses. But Ethan knew this was only the beginning. The more intelligent machines would quickly adapt. Their survival depended on speed, creativity, and constant vigilance. The alien woman, whose name he still did not know, moved beside him with quiet determination. Her eyes glowed brighter than ever, scanning the forest for anomalies. "They are learning," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "The illusions confuse them now, but they will begin to see patterns. We must act before they adapt fully." Ethan nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing on him. He had never imagined that his life would involve outsmarting machines designed for perfect destruction. Yet here he was, relying not on weapons but on human ingenuity and alien technology. "What's the plan?" he asked. "We split into 2 groups," she replied. "One lures them deeper into the forest. The other prepares the final defensive field. We must keep them guessing. And you, human, will lead the decoy. They will underestimate you, and that will be our advantage." Ethan's stomach tightened. Leading the decoy meant risking direct contact with the machines. But he felt a surge of determination. "Then I'll do it," he said. "Tell me what to do." The alien woman smiled faintly, a mixture of admiration and reassurance. "Stay alert. Use the environment. Trust the crystals. And do not hesitate. They can sense fear, hesitation, and doubt." With that, they split up. Ethan moved into the denser part of the forest, guiding the machines toward the illusions they had set up. He adjusted the crystals along the path, making them pulse in patterns that suggested fleeing prey, distant communication, and even human presence. The machines hesitated, scanning, analyzing, unsure of what was real. Ethan felt a thrill. Even the most advanced machines could be deceived when confronted with unpredictability, a quality humans excelled at. He moved carefully, his every action designed to manipulate their sensors, leading them exactly where he wanted. Meanwhile, the alien woman worked with the other group, setting up a massive energy field at the heart of the forest. Ethan could see the faint glow from a distance, a protective dome that would be their stronghold. It was the culmination of hours of preparation, a combination of alien technology and human strategy. As the machines drew closer, Ethan's mind raced. He used the glowing crystals to create false movements, shifting light patterns and even mimicked sounds of fleeing creatures. The machines reacted, breaking formation, moving toward the decoy. Each step was a delicate dance requiring intuition, timing, and courage. Suddenly, one of the machines detected a flaw in the illusion. Its sensors locked onto Ethan's position. He froze, heart pounding, and then quickly adjusted the energy pulses to create a distraction. A burst of light and sound drew the machine away, giving him a moment to move unseen. Ethan realized then that human adaptability was their greatest weapon. The machines could predict patterns, but humans could change them instantly, improvise, and exploit even a single weakness. That moment of realization strengthened his resolve. He would not fail. Not here, not now. Back at the defensive field, the alien woman activated the final energy barrier. It shimmered across the forest, glowing like a protective dome. The machines approached cautiously, confused by the combined illusions and barriers. Ethan watched from a distance, adjusting the decoy crystals to keep the machines engaged. Hours passed. The machines adapted, probing for weaknesses, but Ethan and the alien woman stayed one step ahead. The alien woman moved like a shadow through the trees, coordinating the energy pulses and setting traps. Her precision and focus were astonishing, but Ethan noticed a subtle tension in her movements. She was calculating risks, anticipating possibilities, yet she had no certainty. "You're doing well," she said to him. her voice calm despite the chaos. But we cannot hold them forever. The next phase requires direct engagement. We will need more than illusions. Ethan frowned. Direct engagement? How? We don't have weapons strong enough to destroy them. We don't need to destroy them, she explained. We need to immobilize them long enough to escape and regroup. And for that we need your creativity. Ethan's mind raced. He thought about the crystals, the energy pulses, and the unique properties of the forest. An idea began to form, a way to trap the machines without confronting them directly. We can lead them into the crystal fields, he suggested. If we synchronize the pulses, we can create a net, a containment field. It won't destroy them, but it can hold them temporarily. The alien woman's eyes glowed brighter, clearly impressed. Yes, that could work. But timing is critical. And you, human, will have to coordinate the pulses while we manipulate the field. Ethan nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also a surge of confidence. He had never felt so alive, so essential. Together they could outsmart the machines, at least for now. They moved to the designated area, setting up the crystal fields. Ethan adjusted the pulses, creating a network of light and energy. The alien woman moved along the perimeter, reinforcing the main barrier and preparing to channel the energy into the containment field. The machines approached, sensing the decoy and the energy fields. Ethan activated the first sequence of pulses, drawing the machines into the trap. The light from the crystals danced across the forest, creating illusions of movement, sound, and energy. The machines hesitated, then advanced cautiously, unaware that they were walking into a carefully designed snare. Ethan's hands flew over the control panels embedded in the crystals, synchronizing pulses with precision. The machines moved deeper into the field, and he could feel the energy building, ready to ensnare them. The alien woman's voice guided him, calm and precise. Now, human, activate the field fully. He took a deep breath and triggered the containment sequence. Energy surged through the crystals, forming an invisible net that ensnared the machines. They moved frantically, unable to escape, their sensors overwhelmed by the combined energy and illusions. Ethan watched in awe as the plan succeeded, realizing that human ingenuity, combined with alien technology, had created a force the machines could not overcome. For a brief moment, silence fell over the forest. The machines were trapped, contained but not destroyed. Ethan allowed himself a small smile, feeling the exhilaration of victory. But the alien woman's expression remained serious. This is only temporary, she said. They will adapt. We cannot stay here long. We must use this time to regroup, to plan the next phase. And we must do it quickly, Ethan nodded. He understood the stakes. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. The machines were relentless, adaptive, and intelligent. Survival required constant vigilance, creativity, and courage. The alien woman led him deeper into the forest, to a hidden chamber beneath a cluster of glowing crystals. It was a place of relative safety, shielded from the machine's sensors. Ethan took a moment to rest, catching his breath and letting the adrenaline fade slightly. You did well, she said, her eyes meeting his. Humans have a unique strength. It's not physical power, not speed, not weapons. It's the ability to think, to adapt, to create. And you exemplify that strength. Ethan felt a mixture of pride and humility. He was just an engineer, not a soldier, not a hero. Yet here, on this alien world, his skills, his mind, and his courage had made a difference. We have more work to do, the alien woman continued. The machines will not remain trapped for long. They will adapt, they will learn, and we must be ready. You, human, will play a central role in the next phase. Ethan nodded. He felt a surge of determination. Whatever came next, he would not falter. He had been thrust into a battle that spanned galaxies, faced enemies beyond imagination, and relied on a companion who had shown him trust and guidance. And he had discovered something profound. Humans, even when underestimated, could rise to challenges no one else could face. As they prepared for the next stage, Ethan glanced around the alien chamber. Crystals pulsed softly, energy hummed through the air, and the alien woman worked tirelessly to ensure their defenses held. He realized that their partnership, human and alien, ingenuity and precision, was their greatest weapon. And as the machines stirred within their containment field, testing, probing, and learning, Ethan felt a quiet certainty. No matter how intelligent, how relentless, or how adaptive their enemies were, humans had something machines could never replicate: courage, imagination, and the unyielding will to survive. The forest held its breath once more. Ethan and the alien woman readied themselves for the inevitable confrontation, knowing that the true test of human ingenuity, strategy, and spirit was only just beginning. And in that moment, Ethan understood the truth she had shared at the station. Humans were not fragile. Humans were capable of extraordinary things, and together, they could face any challenge the galaxy placed before them. The machines inside the containment field stirred, their dark forms shifting restlessly. Energy pulses from the crystals lit the forest in ghostly patterns, casting eerie reflections across the trees and ground. Ethan and the alien woman stood together, alert and ready. They knew the machines were intelligent, adaptive, and relentless. Every second counted, and any mistake could be fatal. "This is it," she said quietly, her eyes glowing brightly. "They will try to break free. If they succeed, the forest is lost, and so are we. You must guide the traps, human, and stay focused. Your mind is the key." Ethan took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. He wasn't a soldier or a warrior. He was an engineer. But the past days had shown him that human ingenuity could turn even the most desperate situations into victory. "I'm ready," he said, determination hardening his voice. The first machine made a sudden move, testing the containment field. It lunged forward, and the crystals flared in response, sending waves of energy that pushed it back. But it was learning. Its movements became more precise, analyzing the illusions and energy pulses. Ethan's pulse quickened. He had to anticipate the machine's adaptations faster than it could calculate. He adjusted the energy sequences, shifting light patterns and pulse timings. The machine hesitated, faltered, and then struck again. Ethan's hands flew over the control panels embedded in the crystals, guiding the pulses in real time. He could feel a strange rhythm forming, almost like a dance between human creativity and machine logic. The alien woman moved beside him, activating secondary fields to reinforce the main containment. "You're doing well," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "Keep them guessing. Predict their moves before they can calculate them." Hours passed in tense silence, broken only by the hum of energy and the occasional clash of a machine against the force field. Ethan's mind raced, thinking of ways to manipulate the forest, the crystals, and the illusions to their advantage. He realized that the key wasn't just strength or speed, but unpredictability. Humans could act in ways machines could not anticipate. One of the machines suddenly shifted direction, moving toward the alien woman. Ethan saw it coming and triggered a coordinated energy pulse from several crystals, creating a mirage of her moving elsewhere. The machine struck at the illusion, faltering as its sensors tried to process conflicting data. "It's working!" Ethan shouted, adrenaline surging. "Yes, but stay focused," she replied. "They will adapt again. They are relentless, and they learn faster than we anticipate." Ethan adjusted the sequences again, creating overlapping pulses, false energy trails, and shifting light patterns. The machines advanced, analyzing, calculating, and yet repeatedly falling into traps. He felt a surge of exhilaration. Every move he made exploited the machine's weaknesses, not in brute force but in creativity and strategy. Then came the moment he had been dreading. One of the larger machines broke partially through the containment field. Its sensors had adapted enough to identify a flaw in the energy pattern. Ethan's heart raced. He had seconds to act. "Divert all energy to the secondary pulses," the alien woman commanded, moving quickly to reinforce the barrier manually. Ethan's hands flew over the controls, redirecting energy and creating new illusions in the forest. The machine hesitated, its momentum halted by a sudden surge of light and energy that distorted its sensors. It flailed, trapped once again. Ethan exhaled slowly, relief washing over him. "That was close," he murmured. The alien woman nodded, her eyes softening slightly. "Yes, but it also shows how far we can push them. Creativity, courage, adaptability, that is what humans bring to the galaxy. That is why I trusted you." Ethan felt a deep sense of pride, not just for himself but for all of humanity. He had faced impossible odds, worked alongside an alien with unmatched skill, and discovered the true strength of his species, the ability to think, adapt, and overcome. But the battle was not over. More machines were approaching, moving cautiously, learning from the mistakes of the first wave. Ethan and the alien woman quickly assessed the situation. They had to act decisively or risk being overwhelmed. "Follow my lead," she said, her voice resolute. We will combine all the energy fields, all the crystal networks, and create one final overwhelming trap. It will hold them long enough for us to strike a decisive blow and ensure our survival." Ethan nodded. Together they activated the network, linking every crystal in the forest to create a massive, pulsating energy web. The forest shimmered with power, and the machines approached, sensing the complexity but unable to predict the exact structure of the trap. Ethan guided the pulses with precision, anticipating the machine's moves, shifting patterns, and creating diversions. The alien woman reinforced the network, adding layers of energy that machines could not calculate. It was a symphony of human intuition and alien technology, each move calculated yet unpredictable. The machines surged forward, but the energy web held. They were ensnared, their movements slowed, their sensors overwhelmed. Ethan felt a thrill of victory. "We did it," he whispered, barely believing it. The alien woman looked at him with awe. "Yes, you did it. Humanity has proven its worth." But Ethan knew better than to celebrate too soon. Machines adapted and victory could be fleeting. "What now?" he asked. "Now," she said, "we must neutralize them completely. The containment will hold only for a limited time. We need to act before they learn to break free." She led him to a central crystal cluster, the heart of the network. Its energy pulsed strongly, capable of sending a wave that could disrupt the machine's core systems. Ethan understood immediately. "We can overload them," he said. "Temporarily disable their circuits, give ourselves a permanent advantage." The alien woman nodded. "Exactly. But it must be precise. Too little, and they will recover. Too much, and the energy could destabilize the forest. You will guide the pulse." Ethan's hands moved quickly, adjusting the energy flow, calculating sequences, and timing the release. The machine struggled, sensing the impending threat, but they were trapped. The alien woman monitored the core, ensuring the pulse remained controlled. With a final adjustment, Ethan triggered the overload. Energy surged through the forest, illuminating every crystal, every shadow, and every machine. The pulse struck the machines directly, their forms convulsing as circuits overloaded. Sparks flew, lights flickered, and one by one the machines collapsed, temporarily disabled. Ethan exhaled, his body shaking from adrenaline and exhaustion. The forest fell silent except for the soft hum of the crystals. He turned to the alien woman, whose eyes glowed softly in relief and admiration. "You were incredible," she said. "Humans are underestimated across the galaxy, but today you've proven that your courage and creativity can turn the tide of battle, even against impossible odds." Ethan smiled faintly, exhausted but exhilarated. "I couldn't have done it without you. Without these crystals, without this world, and without trust." She nodded. "Trust is rare, but it binds us. Humans and aliens together are stronger than either alone." For a long moment they stood quietly, surveying the aftermath. The forest was calm again, the machines disabled and the crystal energy stabilizing. Ethan felt a sense of accomplishment he had never known. He had faced overwhelming odds, relied on his mind and instincts, and survived. But more than that, he had discovered the extraordinary potential of humanity. The alien woman turned to him, her gaze softening. "The battle is won, but the war is not over. There are other threats in the galaxy, other machines, other dangers. But you have shown me, shown all of us, and that humans can rise to meet any challenge." Ethan nodded, understanding the gravity of her words. He was far from home in a world he barely understood, but he had grown in ways he could never have imagined. Courage, ingenuity, adaptability. These were the strengths he carried, and they were the qualities that would define humanity's place in the galaxy. As they prepared to move forward, securing the forest and ensuring the machines remained neutralized, Ethan felt a deep sense of connection to this alien companion, to the world around him, and to the potential within himself and his species. He realized something profound. The galaxy was vast, full of danger and wonder, and humans were just beginning to show their true strength. They were not fragile, not weak, and not insignificant. They were capable of extraordinary things, and with courage, creativity, and trust they could overcome any obstacle. The alien woman glanced at him, a faint smile on her glowing face. "We survived," she said simply. "And that is only the beginning. Together we will face whatever comes next." Ethan nodded, feeling a quiet resolve. He had seen the impossible, faced the unimaginable, and discovered the power of human ingenuity. And now, standing on an alien world, he knew that humanity's spark, courage, creativity, and determination, could light the way for the galaxy itself. The forest shimmered around them, alive with energy and potential. The machines were disabled, but the universe was vast and new challenges awaited. Ethan felt ready, confident, and determined. He would not look away. He could not